gorgeous magnolia, but did you know you can eat it? Hi everyone, welcome to Planet Juju. I recently discovered that a lot of magnolia species flowers are edible, and according to several foraging blogs, the flowers can be eaten raw and can also be pickled. The flavour is said to be gingery and can replace that fine sliced pickled ginger that's served with sushi. Obviously, if you try this, be sure to identify the magnolia species before you ingest anything, but I'm absolutely sure this one is called Magnolia cross Soulangeana, and this is the type most of the recipes are based on. This side of the tree has borne the brunt of some recent icy winds, and the flowers are wind-burnt and spoiled, so best not to take those. I don't want to make a huge batch because I've never tried them before, so I'm quite excited to see what it tastes like, but if it's a disaster I won't want to waste too much money on ingredients. So I've just picked a small amount, so let's get them back home. For transport purposes I've put them into these rigid plastic boxes because they do bruise quite easily, and that keeps them nice and complete without having any bending in their petals. That's the sort of thing that happens when they bend and get bruised. They sort of seem to oxidise and go brown at that point of crush. That's 200 grams of flowers, and that's another 160 grams, so in total I've got 360 grams of flowers, but I do need to process them, so I'm going to end up with a bit less than that. I'm going to take all the petals off and give them a wash because I don't want any meat content in the pickled petals. Some of the recipes say that when they're still closed you can just use them as whole buds, but I'm not going to do that because I want to wash them properly. So I'll just cut it off at the base and discard any outer petals that might be a bit manky. And that central piece. I'm thinking because they go brown quite quickly that I'm going to actually fill this bowl with some water and lemon juice and just have them soak in there so that they don't oxidise. Chop them off a bit quickly and pop them in. Just see if that works. I'll just carry on now. See at the base of the flower you've got these I don't really want anything that's gone brown like that. It does seem to be reducing the oxidation there, so that's probably a good call. Those are all the petals that I want to use, and I've got 150 grams of sugar here, just going in the saucepan. That's 250 ml of white wine vinegar. And I'll just melt the sugar into the vinegar. I've rinsed these off a few times, and I guess you can't really help them going a little bit brown. just going to sort of try and pat them dry on the paper towel without crushing them much more. And that's going to take a little while, but I'll just sort of get some of the liquid off as much as I can. And then I've got my jar here which I'm going to put them in, and that needs a teaspoon of salt in there. What I've done is I've put some boiling water in there to sterilise it. Thought I'd use some sea salt. Just put a teaspoon in, and then gradually put my dried petals in there. Hopefully they won't crush down too much. It's not quite a full jar, but that's going to be fine. So just bring the vinegar to a boil. And pour that over the magnolia petals. I'll just push them down. So that they're all in the vinegar. Put the lid on. I'm going to let that cool down, and that should be ready to eat in about 2 weeks' time. Well, it's been a couple of weeks now, and the flowers have been soaking in the vinegar solution for quite some time, and I must say it doesn't look really very appetizing to me. It has gone quite brown, and I don't know if I should have maybe put it in a smaller jar so that it was full. But I'm going to take a taste test now and see what it tastes like. I'm glad I didn't make very much, because if it's horrible then I can just chuck that away. I'll just have a sniff. Well, it sort of smells of wine vinegar, and the smell of the magnolia flowers is still there. All of the purple has just turned to this brown colour. I'll take a taste and see what it tastes like. It's still quite crunchy. There's definite pickle vinegar there. I am getting a gingery heat from it. It's really not unpleasant. It's quite sweet. You've got that sort of sweet and sour flavour going on because you've got the sugar in the solution as well. Just have another bit. Actually, that's not bad at all. It's quite floral. It's more... I didn't expect it to be quite as floral, but it's really not unpleasant. I think that's possibly an acquired taste, but it's not unpleasant, and I'll be trying it with a few different things just to see whether there's anything that really sets it off, or it can set something else off. Let's see what it's like with some more pickles and some salad. I've got some red pepper spread here, and I've got some raw pepper, and I've got some pickles here, some sauerkraut and some dill peppers. So just let's have a taste with one of those dill peppers. That gets completely lost. Let's have a taste with some of the spread there. It adds a bit of texture because it's crunchy, but the flavour just gets completely lost. There. Let's have a taste of that. Yeah, it's nice with the lettuce because it complements the sweetness of the lettuce and just adds that bit of acidity to it. So it's going to be good with blander flavours, I think. Try it with a bit of sweet red pepper, just on its own raw. That works quite well. I expect it's going to be completely hidden by the sauerkraut as well. Take equal amounts of each. Yeah, I can just taste more vinegar there really. I'll just have a bit on its own again. Yeah, the flavour on its own is very floral, but it just gets lost when you've got stronger flavours. I certainly think with lettuce it's actually very nice. And you could maybe do a lettuce with some just added to it as a starter salad or something. Is it a condiment I'd want taking up space in my fridge? I'd probably say it's not really worth the space, but it's an interesting taste. And if you were providing a culinary experience for somebody, then it's definitely worth having a shot at. And of course, if you didn't like ginger, it's very, very mild. Well, I hope you found that interesting. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.